It's not actually much like a grilled cheese at all, and the original version doesn't even seem to be available anymore. But Taco Bell's grilled cheese burrito still remains a sensation. The grilled cheese burrito is a completely different beast from any grilled cheese you've ever made in a pan. For one, every grilled cheese burrito option on the Taco Bell menu contains meat. Here's how it's made. The original grilled cheese burrito starts out with one of Taco Bell's signature Mission brand flour tortillas. Next comes a 3-cheese blend, which Taco Bell says contains mozzarella cheese, cheddar cheese, Monterey Jack, and American cheese, along with jalapeno pepper. Yes, that's 4 cheeses, but that's what they call it. Next, Taco Bell adds nacho cheese sauce, reduced fat sour cream, and creamy chipotle sauce. Then it's stuffed with seasoned rice, seasoned beef, and red fiesta strips to turn it into a heartier and more calorie-laden meal. Finally, it's grilled with a bit of the 3-cheese blend melted on top.
Who wants cheese? Me, please.
The grilled cheese burrito contains 710 calories, 39 grams of total fat, 75 milligrams of cholesterol, and a whopping 1,490 milligrams of sodium. In the deluxe box combo, you'll also find the Chalupa Supreme, which itself has 350 calories, 25 milligrams of cholesterol, 18 grams of total fat, and 560 milligrams of sodium. The box also has a Doritos Locos Taco, which has 170 calories, 9 grams of fat, 25 milligrams of cholesterol, and 350 milligrams of sodium. That means the whole thing adds up to 1,230 calories, 66 grams of fat, 125 milligrams of cholesterol, and an astounding 2,400 milligrams of sodium. And that's not even including the side of nachos and cheese that also come in the box. The amount of sodium in the grilled cheese burrito deluxe box is so over the top that Taco Bell has posted a sodium warning for it. If you get the deluxe box, it may be best to share it with some friends. An insider review calls the grilled cheese burrito Taco Bell's best dish in years and notes that there is no shortage of cheese. The review points out that the burrito is stuffed with nacho cheese sauce, along with the melted grilled cheese on the outside, and that each bite is warm and fresh. Others agree that the Taco Bell treat is buttery, with a nice kick from the chipotle sauce. Thrillist reviewer Tony Maravich checked to see if the burrito is indeed as cheesy as Taco Bell promises. Although he expected to see a bit more cheese on the outside, Maravich described the burrito as having a buttery, burnt cheese flavor to every bite, without being too overwhelming. But enough about the professional critics. What do the people think?
Our voices will be heard.
Despite the premium versions of the grilled cheese burrito being among the most expensive items on the Taco Bell menu, one Reddit user said they're, quote, the best thing they got going for them right now. Others on Reddit have complained about the grilled cheese burrito sometimes being greasy though, especially if they pick it up in the drive-thru window and then wait until they get home to eat it. But fresh off the grill, it seems to be just fine. Also, ordering it vegetarian with refried beans can result in an extremely dense burrito that can be difficult to eat if they add too many refried beans, says one Reddit user. So the experience may depend on how quickly you eat it and what changes you make. For those who think the grilled cheese burrito needs a little more oomph, Taco Bell has the answer for you. They literally beefed it up with strips of grilled steak. According to the chain, the double steak grilled cheese burrito has twice as much steak as the regular steak quesadilla, ensuring every bite is full of meaty, cheesy flavor. But with a steeper price tag and a heftier calorie count of 920, is it really worth it? According to Brand Eating, the double steak grilled cheese burrito seems to suffer from being overly familiar. The review noted that it didn't seem to have the same allure as any other of Taco Bell's limited time value items, noting that for considerably less money, you could upgrade the original grilled cheese burrito with extra beef, which is more satisfying. If you must have your grilled cheese burrito with steak, then go for the double steak option. But if it isn't a deal breaker to get the ground beef, go for the classic if you can get it. When Taco Bell first opened in 1962, you could buy a taco for a mere 19 cents. Prices have understandably gone up since then, but you can still find plenty of $1 and $2 items on the Cravings value menu to keep you satisfied. In fact, the majority of the Taco Bell burrito menu is under $5, which is extremely cheap as far as restaurant menus go. With a price point of around $7.29 as of February 2023, the premium double steak grilled cheese burritos are around twice the cost of a typical Taco Bell menu item. But people keep buying them because they're filling and tasty. David Gibbs, CEO of Taco Bell parent company Yum Brands, said in a 2022 earnings call transcribed by The Motley Fool that the demand is more for premium value. That's why you're seeing us do things like the double steak grilled cheese burrito at Taco Bell, which is at a higher price point than normal, but still a great value and a big part of our success in Taco Bell. Various innovations like the return of the Mexican pizza and the addition of premium menu items, including double meat grilled cheese burritos, have enabled individual stores to grow their sales by as much as 5% by the end of the third quarter of 2022. If you have a favorite menu item at Taco Bell, you can almost guarantee it's not going to stick around unless it's a classic like a crunchy taco or a soft taco. Even old standbys like shredded chicken and Nachos Supreme were removed from the menu in 2020. Taco Bell first unveiled the grilled cheese burrito at a $2.99 price point on July 2nd, 2020, promising that it would only be around for a limited time and while supplies last. Before 2020 was over, the grilled cheese burrito was gone, and there was already a petition at change.org to bring it back.
I want it back!
In August 2022, the grilled cheese burrito finally showed back up on the menu in 3 different flavors, with prices ranging from $4.29 to $7.29. Unfortunately, once again, it threatened to only be around for a limited time. For a while, you could get the original grilled cheese burrito, a double steak version, and a spicy double steak version with jalapenos on top. Eventually, the original version disappeared and was replaced with a double chicken version in some locations. As of February 2023, the steak versions are still available. There's no guarantee that the grilled cheese burrito will be available when you next crave one, but you can always hack the menu to order one anyway. Taco Bell's original grilled cheese burrito contains seasoned ground beef, a 3-cheese blend, reduced fat sour cream, nacho cheese sauce, chipotle sauce, fiesta tortilla strips, and seasoned rice. So, all you have to do is to find the closest thing on the menu and start tinkering on a self-serve kiosk, the online menu, or even at the drive-thru. For example, you could order a double steak grilled cheese burrito and swap out the steak for seasoned beef. If there aren't any grilled cheese burritos of any kind available, find a burrito with similar fillings. For example, the $2 beefy melt burrito already comes with most of the same ingredients. So all you have to do to turn it into a grilled cheese burrito is to add chipotle sauce for an additional 65 cents and choose the Make It Grilled option. If you're ordering in person or at the drive-thru window, you could even ask them to throw some of the 3-cheese blend on top during grilling, though they may charge a little extra for that as well. There's no vegetarian version of the grilled cheese burrito on the Taco Bell menu, but that doesn't mean you can't get one too. The easiest thing to do is simply order a grilled cheese burrito without meat if the regular version is available. You can also add refried beans, black beans, potatoes, or tomatoes. Eating at Taco Bell in India is an entirely different experience. As a Mexican, American, and Indian fusion restaurant, every menu item may look somewhat familiar, but it's been transformed into something entirely unique. For one thing, there's no beef in any of the menu items. So, the grilled cheese burrito in India comes completely vegetarian. Once you start looking at the ingredient list, you'll realize that nothing but the tortilla and cheese on top is the same. Instead of orange seasoned rice, the Indian version contains green jalapeno rice. It also replaces the creamy chipotle sauce with Reaper Ranch sauce. There are no fiesta strips either. One of the most interesting differences is the type of cheese inside. The Indian grilled cheese burrito contains cheddar cheese, mozzarella cheese, and Mexican paneer. Sounds like it's worth a try if you're ever in New Delhi.
Now you know what should be on your bucket list.
After the initial success of the grilled cheese burrito, Taco Bell tested out a closely related menu item called the Grilled Cheese Stacker in Houston, Texas in 2021. The stacker looked more like a quesadilla than a burrito, and it simply contained meat, a 3-cheese blend, and nacho cheese. It also had cheese melted onto the tortilla, but there was no rice, crispy fiesta strips, sour cream, or chipotle sauce. Thrillist also notes that the folding method for the grilled cheese stacker was different from a burrito or a quesadilla, with a grilled cheese stacker getting 3 folds. But it really just looked like a tri-folded quesadilla. It does not seem to have made the leap out of test markets. At least, not yet.